sono Gigio Donnarumma.
There's a goalkeeper out there who's 6'5", has already lifted the Euros with Italy, and yet right now, he's basically homeless in football terms. Gianluigi Donnarumma, the guy that nobody can ignore. When a keeper like that suddenly hits the market, it's not like a transfer rumor for some mid-table striker. It's a full-blown shockwave. Clubs take notice, agents whisper, fans start dreaming. And what blows my mind is this: he's only 26. That's supposed to be the sweet spot for a keeper. Old enough to be mature, young enough to dominate for a decade. But with Donnarumma, it feels like he's already lived 2 or 3 different careers. He's had the prodigy chapter, the betrayal saga, the PSG soap opera, and now the big question: where does he go next? Because let's be honest, wherever he lands could completely tilt the balance of the Premier League. The collapse with PSG is where the whole story kicks off. I'll be honest with you, I never thought it looked like a perfect marriage. PSG is a club that eats players alive, and goalkeepers get the worst of it. Donnarumma arrived after winning the Euros, ready to take the #1 shirt from Keylor Navas. And for a moment, it felt like the future was secure. He had those Champions League nights, remember Liverpool?
No pé direito, Darwin Núñez!
He looked untouchable. But then every slip, every bad clearance, every wrong step with his feet became fuel for criticism. And here's the twist: Luis Enrique didn't even hide it.
Meilleur joueur à son poste, sans aucun doute, encore mieux comme personne. On cherche un profil de gardien différent et je répète, c'est toujours difficile de décider ce genre de situations.
He admitted openly that he wanted a keeper with a different profile, someone who could build play from the back with surgical precision. That's brutal, man. Imagine your coach saying out loud, "Yeah, you're not the type of keeper I want." From that moment, it was done. He was left out of the Super Cup squad, talks about a new contract froze, and one thing is clear: the relationship is finished. PSG will try to cash in, but Donnarumma, he's already packing bags in his head. But this isn't the first messy breakup of his career. Go back to Milan, and that's where it really gets wild. Personally, I always had a soft spot for that Milan team. Seeing Maldini, Nesta, Kaká, Shevchenko, it was magic. And then, out of nowhere, this 16-year-old giant shows up in goal. Donnarumma wasn't just good, he looked like destiny. Over 6 years, 251 appearances, 88 clean sheets, he was the future of Milan, the kid who could lead them back to glory. But then came the contract saga. Man, Italian ultras don't forgive. During the Euro U21 in Poland, fans literally rained down fake banknotes with his face on them. Dollarumma. Can you imagine that? You're a teenager, and suddenly your own fans are calling you a mercenary with fake money fluttering around your box. Even after he signed a renewal, the trust was shattered. He was booed at San Siro. He even cried on the pitch as banners insulted his family. And by 2021, when his camp pushed for massive wages and guarantees, Paolo Maldini just said, enough. Milan moved on, and Donnarumma walked out for free. But here's the part that really shows the scars: his return in 2023 with PSG. I watched that game at San Siro, and honestly, I've never seen hostility like it for a goalkeeper. Every touch was booed, thousands of fake notes rained down again, banners scream mercenary. And here's the insane bit: those fake notes, they became collectibles. People actually sold them online for up to 30 euros a pack. Mbappe was caught laughing at it mid-game. For Milan fans, it wasn't just about football. It was betrayal etched into their culture. And for Donnarumma, that shadow never goes away. No matter how many games he wins with Italy, in that stadium, he'll always be Dollarumma. Now, let's talk about the present. Manchester United is the club where his name makes the most sense. And I'm telling you, Old Trafford is desperate. Onana was supposed to be the solution, Ten Hag's modern keeper who could play out under pressure. But what happened? 8 errors directly leading to goals, disasters in Europe, and the nickname of Calamity Onana that just won't die. Watching United this season has been painful. You can literally feel the tension when the ball goes back to him. And now, with Ruben Amorim in charge, the pressure's doubled. He's walking into a club where patience is gone, where every mistake is amplified. And honestly, if Amorim wants to calm the storm, bringing in Donnarumma would be a statement. He's a wall in goal, he commands the area, and he's got that aura of a guy who's already decided finals with his gloves. I can picture him walking into that dressing room and immediately changing the energy. For me, this is where he fits best. But don't sleep on Chelsea. Robert Sanchez has been one of the most frustrating keepers to watch. I've seen Stamford Bridge turn on players before, but when it's the keeper, it's brutal. 5 errors leading to goals, hesitations that kill momentum, and you can hear the groans from the crowd. I get it. His advanced stats sometimes look decent. He even shows up high on XG prevented, but those numbers lie. Half of them exist because of his own mistakes in the first place, and the fans aren't buying it. Enzo Maresca tries to defend him, but you can tell even he doesn't fully believe it. Jorgensen is waiting on the bench, but Maresca insists on Sanchez. It's like he's playing with fire. And this is where Donnarumma becomes the wild card. He'd bring instant credibility. Fans would feel like they have a keeper who can save them in big moments. But let's not sugarcoat it. Chelsea is chaos. Players come and go, projects restart every 6 months, and keepers have been scapegoated before. Remember Kepa? Donnarumma could be the hero, or he could be the next victim of Stamford Bridge impatience. That's what makes the Chelsea option both exciting and terrifying. Now, over at City, things are a bit more subtle. Ederson is still officially the number 1. Pep Guardiola even says so in press conferences, but actions, they say something else. Ortega has been starting in key games, even Champions League nights. That's not random. Ederson is incredible with his feet, maybe the best in the world at distribution, but his shot stopping has been questioned more and more. And you can feel City thinking, maybe it's time to evolve. If Ederson really does leave, Donnarumma could be the guy they try to mold. But here's my personal opinion. I don't see it. Not yet. Donnarumma's feet just aren't at that level. And in Pep's system, the keeper's practically a midfielder. Could Pep coach him into it? Maybe. But compared to United or Chelsea, City feels less like a necessity and more like a luxury project. But Arsenal, though, is a non-starter. David Raya has shut that conversation down. 16 clean sheets, the lowest goals conceded per game, and Arteta praising him as the guy who solves problems before they even happen.
And Dallo has seen What a brilliant save!
Honestly, I rate Raya so highly, I think he's one of the top 3 keepers in the world right now. Arsenal aren't even glancing at Donnarumma. That door is locked. And when we zoom in on Donnarumma himself, the picture's fascinating. His reflexes are insane. His wingspan feels like it covers half the goal. And in penalty shootouts, he turns into ice. Think back to Wembley in 2021, the way he crushed England's dreams in the Euro final. That's the aura. But then again, his flaws are obvious too. He switches off at climbs, his passing under pressure is shaky, and when he makes mistakes, they're catastrophic. Still, when I stack him against Neuer or Courtois, I can't help but put him in that conversation. He's not as consistent, sure, but the raw ability, the ceiling, it's all there. So where should he go? If you ask me, United need him the most. No debate. Old Trafford is drowning in keeper errors, and Donnarumma would be their lifeline. Chelsea are right behind. Sanchez has lost the crowd, and a keeper with Gigio's presence could steady the ship. City, only if Ederson really does leave, and even then, it's a tactical gamble. Arsenal, forget it. They're sorted. But for Donnarumma, this isn't just about a transfer. This is about rewriting his career. At Milan, he went from prodigy to villain. At PSG, he became disposable. Now, the next move will decide everything. Does he finally step into the role of generational keeper, Or does he fade into that painful what could have been category? For me, man, I'd love to see him at United. That stage, that chaos, that pressure, it feels like the exact arena where Donnarumma could either collapse or finally become the legend he was always meant to be.